Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studio. Temple Gist, yes, is on the card, and on the table is Mikel Arteta and Thierry Henry. And for Thierry Henry, he needs no introduction, locally called Igwe, the man who, of course, captain Arsenal, the invincible team, if I'm not mistaken.
Was he the captain?
Okay, he was not the captain, but led Arsenal up front, to win the invincible Premier League, Arsenal's biggest and most glamorous trophy the Gunners have ever won in their history. Joining me on set is Nonso the Bishop himself, a huge Arsenal fan who has been kept quiet by Arsenal's lack of trophy and the fact that the Gunners have not even gotten to any final in 2 years.
We'll be back.
That's what they've always said. Okadi Sam also joins me on set. Okadi Sam is a financial man. He knows he will just bring the money aspect and put why Arsenal are making money but not winning titles.
No. You said they are most glamorous. Listen, quickly remind him that you guys almost did the same thing in Champions League.
Yes.
Baka was the one because from the group stage you guys considered only one goal. Till you got to the final.
Which guys?
Arsenal
against
Barcelona. Okay.
It was a golden Champions League too now. It was a golden Champions League.
Oh, really?
Until that red card comes in. So
what happened?
Don't say it's most glamorous. They almost did the same thing.
But you don't win Champions League. You win.
Like I said,
but do you know it's
that would have been a golden Champions League too.
Keep your fingers.
That would have been a golden Champions
It's
League.
even a shame for Arsenal fans to be speaking of Champions League. The only
brother,
final Arsenal has gotten to was 2006.
Yeah, against Barcelona.
Now we're in 2025.
Yeah.
I know say I failed maths when I did school. I know Sabi. But that's 19 years if I calculate
That
that
was 20 years. 2005.
2006.
Okay, yeah. Next year is going to make it 20.
19 years.
Baba Newcastle do 17 years.
A 19-year-old has the right to vote Tinubu in or out.
See,
Yes or no?
Newcastle.
See,
Person will win. I mean, okay, I'm trying to remember something. Oh, so we say this and this things happen. Make I digress a little. Steve A. Smith say the last time the Knicks won the the NBA, he was barely 3 years.
Yes.
90s, and now he's getting to his 60s.
Yes.
And Newcastle, the last time they won
70.
So
are you on the same level?
Even somebody that
are you on the same level?
The Chelsea you're talking about.
How many years?
How many years?
The Chelsea is talking about before the coming of Abramovich. 50 years without Laurel. 50 years without Laurel.
Half a century.
So you want reach menopause before I go win Champions League.
See,
20 years is
it's
not
a
bad.
work in progress. The Gunners are coming back.
Now that's when we're deceiving ourselves
Use
again.
work in progress in
That's
accounting.
when we're deceiving ourselves.
It's an accounting now.
You still use that for real life time with Arsenal. But guys, let's go to the real conversation.
I think this week, right? Before I even listen to Thierry Henry, believe me, before listening to Thierry Henry, I just I was analyzing Arsenal. I was like, no, this team is not it.
Exactly.
Something is wrong about this team. I think we've actually, those that have been following this team, actually allowed them to be deceived by
the progress.
By the progress, you understand?
Yeah.
Without results. With nothing. I was analyzing this team critically. Believe me, Arteta is a failure. And if I were Arsenal, let that
Please say you're modest.
You know,
you are very modest.
Fine, thank you for saying that.
It's not a failure.
Thank you for that compliment.
He's very modest.
You understand? Sincerely speaking.
He's been a failure.
Now, from Arteta.
It's disastrous.
From Arteta down to the team, right? That will give. See, I understand that there is a serious drop in quality when it comes to sport.
Yeah.
But look, the deception in Arsenal is so much. You know, I was analyzing before the Thierry Henry statement. Now, like we said while we're talking about Chelsea in the last 3 seasons, Chelsea has been to finals. Man U,
they've won finals. Man United
in the last 5 years, right? Now, I just looked that side. I kept that side, but I was looking at the players. I picked Saka as an individual. For the first time, I want to say, believe me, Saka is a little bit above average. He's an average player, a little bit above average. Just keep him side by side with Mamouche. When the Mamouche came to the league, Mamouche has more goals, or about the same number of goals with Saka, with some number of assists. Bro, if Saka for 2 years can barely give you 10, 15 goals, and this is one of your most cherished and one of your biggest player, it tells you the quality, the nature of that team. This is one fact that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And they don't want to. Realistically.
Let me come in here. See, let me
Frank talk.
See.
Remember Frank talk.
I know. I'm not good here. But see, the reality check is this.
Your team is poor.
It's beyond it. They are the poorer of the poorest.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the way we play and the swagger and the approach we play, like as Thierry Henry, they should have won at least a trophy or two. That's what he's saying. He not saying they should win the Champions League, but at least this team should win a trophy or two.
As bad as United are. Even if they finish 15th, they get to the final.
Exactly, get the win trophies.
United got to the final of the FA Cup last season.
Now,
Won
let-
the
In
FA
the
Cup.
last 5 years, they've been in 5 different finals.
Exactly.
5 different finals.
Let me see.
Chelsea has been in 3 different finals in the last 3 years.
Far below his weight. Like I said, many fans
Man City has been in so many finals.
No,
They were even in final this year again.
against Crystal Palace.
But
I think
Arsenal are
since
nowhere.
Guardiola came, I think he's been in the final of the competition at least once
Every year. No matter how bad it
Since
is.
the first year that Arteta stepped in and won that trophy,
That trophy,
that was the
that was the
end.
end.
5 years down the line, it's more than enough for you to know.
We are perplexed. Let me use that word. We are being confused. Our faces have been covered with progress. But the truth is, it's been, like you said, so close yet so far. We're not getting there. With the quality of players at Arsenal's disposal, Arsenal should be winning titles.
Arsenal should be winning title with that quality?
You know, it's even painful.
With the quality.
It's painful because Newcastle United and Crystal Palace
I win trophies.
are one.
Are they
And
better than
let's not forget, including Leicester City,
Okay, Crystal
won an
Palace,
FA Cup
Crystal
in the last
Palace.
few years or so.
Crystal
Yeah.
Palace has what? What are the best players Crystal Palace?
Mateta and Eze. That's all.
That's all. But they're winning trophies.
Come on, where he is there, so many other same players.
When are they on the same level as Arsenal
I don't
players?
think Arsenal
They're not
players.
the same level, right?
Exactly.
My point- but
Newcastle
it doesn't
have
see
been to the Champions League
now.
and
Here's
winning
it.
titles.
See, I understand where you're coming from, right?
I remember Newcastle are getting to their second final in about 5 years.
Yes.
Bologna won the title against Milan not long ago, right?
Yes.
And you have a second division side in Germany knocking out
Bayern Munich.
Bayer Leverkusen
Leverkusen.
and all these things, right?
Yes,
But
exactly.
it doesn't change one thing. Now we're talking about 2 different teams. You don't expect the quality of Arsenal and quality of these guys to be the same. Now it doesn't mean that these guys once in a while will not find a way. Consistency at the end of the day. But if a day today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, somehow things find a way of working.
But why can
But
Arsenal
now
be
what
there?
we're looking at right now, right, is the real quality of the Arsenal team itself. It's the real
I
quality
think
of the Arsenal team.
I feel it's not more
If
quality.
you're
I think
talking
it's more
about,
of a mental
he
block.
has changed that mental block, but because
It's-
quality is not there. Look, the Arsenal we're talking about today is more rugged.
That's what it used to be.
Yeah, the
I
mentality
agree
is stronger than what it used to
Yeah,
be.
exactly.
But
But it's-
because the
there's still a
quality and the
problem.
mentality are not on the same level, that's why Arsenal is struggling. The quality and the mentality are not on the same level. Fact, you
Arsenal don't have
can
a
argue
bench.
from now.
We agree.
They are not deep. That
don't
but you
have a
can argue
bench.
from now till
They don't have a-
tomorrow.
they don't have a
The
bench.
quality,
They don't have replacements
the
of
quality in
players.
Arsenal, the quality in Arsenal. Because I just give a simple
It's
example.
better, yeah.
Mamouche came in just January. You could talk about injury. Saka played the whole season last season. I think about 12 or 13 goals, if I'm not mistaken. This season he plays more games. I don't have the fact, but I know he played more games than Mamouche. How many goals was he? And he's the biggest in Arsenal.
Mamouche came in January.
Mamouche came in January, he has 7 goals.
Let's look at it.
7
When I say
goals.
we
No,
have
so-
a- we
no,
have-
no.
we have a big issue.
Now here's
Let me see here. Look
Let me
at
finish.
our strikers, Gabriel Jesus, Kai
Let me
Havertz.
finish. Now
They're
you're
not
talking.
scoring
Now
goals.
you're talking. They're not about scoring goals. They don't have the capacity. They don't have the ability.
Okay.
They are struggling. Now the issue is this, right? Until Arsenal themselves agreed. Now, aside, this is just on the part of the quality of the player,
Yeah.
not the coach himself, because the coach himself has an issue. He's stubborn. He believes he knows what he's doing.
rigid.
He doesn't want to listen to anybody. He's rigid. I mean, look at Arteta opening his mouth and telling people that in January that they didn't see any decent striker with good amount of money. Won't you bring anybody?
Can he convince himself?
But that's what he was saying. And
That's
even,
what
you know,
he
the most
said now.
funniest thing, he's saying that even this off-season, he's not so sure. That
said-
because he's not seeing the same players
He
out
lost
there.
the game to PSG and he's telling me that a better team lost.
A better on what ground?
On what ground?
On what ground? Home and away. You were defeated home and
He's
away.
not only arrogant, he's preposterous. I think he's got I'm telling no joke. I think the too much praise from the fans and the media and the press.
You said there's no striker. Where is rhetoric?
Now, you know,
Atalanta.
you know his saving grace. He came into an Arsenal team that Wenger labeled for
Very-
years.
exactly.
You understand? And I know where they were. Unai came and Unai somehow just couldn't live up to expectation. So Arsenal fans were actually hungry for something that looks like progress.
Yes.
For something
From
that looks like
Unai.
progress. You understand?
But
Beyond
Unai
Unai.
got to European final.
So Unai, I mean,
Even I got to the.
that is it.
Come on, man.
Unai got to a final.
Europa League
I
final.
think
This guy-
he also got to the FA Cup final, if I'm not mistaken. Or did he?
No, I
Did
don't
he not?
think
I think
it was
Arsenal
Europa
lost
League.
one FA Cup.
No.
Okay, it was just Europa League
Where he
final.
lost to Chelsea. Scandalous thing anyway, but that's
No,
my
no, so here's the issue, right? I think it's time for Arsenal to tell themselves the simple truth, right? If, like I said, I am still going back to there. If Saka is the standard, it shows that team is poor.
That is a problem. Yes, I agree.
If Saka is the
I
standard,
agree that line.
it shows that team is poor.
Now let's go to Mikel Arteta right now. With Arsenal finishing the second in 3 consecutive
Yeah.
seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Fact.
And
You're
no
right.
final.
Yeah.
No final. Yeah.
Whether it's the Champions League, the FA
No
Cup,
final.
or the Carabao
Regardless.
Cup, including even crashing out in the first round
Not
of the
even
FA
a
Cup
preseason final.
last season.
Not even a preseason
Yeah, because
tournament.
I think they stopped the Emirates Cup, so
They
it's
won-
not
they
winning.
won it last
Okay,
season.
they won.
That's not a
Okay.
disgraceful trophy.
Now let's look at, should Arteta's season beyond next season be tied to winning something for Arsenal? Because if the Gunners
I think
go again,
you're charitable to him.
See, if the
Should
Gunners
Arteta
go
remain
again,
till next season, that I think that should be the question. Not even should Arteta next season should
No,
try to win a trophy. You're charitable to him, sincerely speaking.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
still trying to.
yeah.
You're magnanimous to him. Yeah, you're still trying
So
to.
you
say,
think it's time
this
for
thing.
Arteta to
The
go?
question is, should Arteta still remain in Arsenal? Not even should Arteta season continue beyond. I mean, should Arteta next season should be tied to a winning trophy?
Because Thierry
No.
Henry is saying that, even though some people have said that, probably Henry is speaking from the angle of for the lack of the right word, maybe he's jealous the fact that he's not the one in the dugout.
It can be.
And he's a failed,
It
of
can
course,
be.
not a successful manager
Yeah,
like Mikel Arteta.
he's not managing
But let's
up
look
to-
at it.
yeah.
But he's got something sensible in what he said. We should be competing in finals and winning titles.
Absolutely.
Because teams who are not even up to us in terms of what we claim we play are doing well.
That is the wrong mentality. Now,
So-
here is it, right? You have a Carabao Cup, you have an FA Cup. Why can't you approach this competition with all seriousness?
exactly.
What makes you feel?
Oliver
last year-
Glasner said something. He said
It's
something
arrogance and
that
pride.
the FA
That's
Cup
the
is
answer.
7, whatever it was, 7 games.
Yeah, they've got
7 games, yeah.
Whatever how to happen in the FA Cup, it is 7 games.
7 games, yeah.
So play the best 7 games of your life
Simple.
I win the cup.
and then win the cup.
Now,
can't-
here is it,
and-
right?
and-
Now, here is it, right?
The fun fact is that you win it, you go to Europe.
Automatically.
That's the part, right? Here's fine. That's it. Now, here is it, right? I heard the fact that you've not won anything, but you're undermining these trophies.
Exactly.
You've not won
You're
anything.
undermining the Carabao Cup.
But you're undermining the Carabao Cup. You're undermining
You put your mind on
this thing.
Champions League and the
Last
FA Cup and the
season,
Premier League.
you were so carried away with the fact that, oh, I'm going to win the league. And you
Then-
undermine the Carabao Cup. This season, you were carried away with all the fact that, oh, I'm going to win
You're undermining
Champions
the FA
League.
Cup as well.
And you undermine the FA Cup.
Look at his lineup against Man United. He did so as well.
And it ended up in disaster.
Pride
Look at it.
and arrogance go before he fall. I think that guy has got arrogance
As
in his
crazy,
head.
as bad as Pep Guardiola's season is, he was in the final.
Yes, he was in the final of the FA Cup.
As bad as Chelsea season is, they're in final.
See,
As bad as Postecoglou's season is, he
let's-
won the
let's
cup.
call
in the
a
final.
spade a spade. If he
As
does-
bad as Manchester City is, as bad as
Man
Amorim
United
is,
is.
Amorim was in the
They
final.
went unbeaten until the final
You
of the
understand?
Europa League.
Nottingham Forest, as bad as it was.
They were in the semi-final of the
Of the FA Cup.
FA Cup. They were at Wembley.
Let me tell you something. See, I think they're even saying cup. Please scratch that. If he does not win the Premier League next season, he should be fired.
You guys are even, like I said, you guys are magnanimous to him.
I'm
sincerely
trying
speaking.
to be
Me,
on my
the
best.
right now,
I'm trying to be on my best behavior.
Okay.
I'm trying to be on my
Nice.
best behavior as
Well
an
done.
Arsenal fan. The truth is this: if he does not win the Premier League next season, he should depart the club. In short, he should be thrown out because there is no manager. And that's why Mourinho will cast aspersion on Arsenal.
Of course
and
not.
laugh and say Arsenal has got his
Specialist
best job. You know,
Last
7 years, if no one anything there, they're giving you, come on, you can go again. You can do it.
Last season-
Arsenal are not becoming motivational speakers.
Last season, Mourinho said something.
It's crazy stuff.
Was it last season? No, this season, I think in Obi.
Mourinho made a statement about Arsenal.
Yeah, this
When I
season.
said
Arsenal
he predicted
job is-
who will win
Yeah.
the
He
league.
said, you know one team that will not win the league.
It's Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Like, he was certain.
It was so
That
certain.
is Arsenal.
That wasn't in you. He said it's the easiest job in the world. When you go there, and the club owners are not encouraging you that don't worry.
But that's what Chelsea is
They're
turning
gonna
to
do
right
next
now.
season.
That's why they're celebrating.
It's finishing second.
But still a trophy.
Fourth, yeah.
It's still
Maybe the trophy.
But
Now
the
that is
trophy
the
is
issue.
Celebrate the trophy, celebrate it. They have to jump for joy. They should rejoice. Because at the end of the day, they've got Champions League football, which second will give you as well.
And they
And
go
they won the
straight to
trophy.
Port 1 because of the.
Because they have been there
coefficient.
before, because the success has been passed.
Yeah.
Arsenal don't when last time win a proper trophy. So there's not even a coefficient to even put together. So if Arsenal must win the league to be in Port 1. That is how bad it is. Or maybe Champions League to be in Port 1. It is really sad.
Funny
The
enough,
guy
that's what
must
I-
win the league.
If
or
anybody
he
should
be
laugh
thrown
at
out of
Chelsea,
the job.
if anybody should laugh at anybody, believe me, not as not laughing at anybody.
To be sincere too,
Not as not laughing at
took
anybody.
his job as a rookie. Let's go back to the beginning. When I told you, remember Abdul, we've gone a long way with Abdul. And I said this guy is a rookie. He will learn on the job.
But he has learned.
He has learned now. He should start.
No. He has learned.
How many years do you need to learn?
After learning
Boy,
right,
boy, you
no,
should
so
go
no. After learning right, we've actually seen his real capacity. We've discovered his
This is how
capacity.
far he can take
This is
us.
how he can go. He
This is
can't
how far he
beyond
can
this.
go.
This is how far
He
he
can't
can
win
go.
trophies. If you got a manager who's used to winning trophies, Unai Emery, and you 3 months after a season, I'll give a Tata 7 years. A 7-year-old will be a young boy who has a bright future in football. But now he should be in the academy.
Yeah, of course. Preparing for under 10.
Who knows?
Like, we saw it,
Or maybe even school competitions. And we're here talking about how we should give him that season. See, Arsenal are very patient. Trust me. They want to be patient fast.
No. They are not
The
patient.
reward
They
is
are not
worse.
ambitious.
I love that
I think
word.
they
You
are.
can take it to the next level.
They're not ambitious. Simple.
I think that word slaps. They are not ambitious. No, so you're
That
not.
was
You're ambitious. No, Arsenal is not ambitious.
I'm very ambitious.
Arsenal is
I'm very ambitious.
You're ambitious.
I have a bright future, but I don't. At Arsenal.
Well,
That's the truth. But come on, it's the truth. This man needs to win the league. If he wins the FA Cup, throw him out. If he wins the Carabao Cup, throw him out.
Imagine a team where Saka is the yardstick, is the standard.
That's your best player. When Saka became injured, Arsenal became epileptic.
How many of these guys
Arsenal
that we
became
have
paralyzed.
how many of these guys that we have around that Saka is better than?
How many of them? How many?
Even if holding that you're laughing at, Saka is not better than him.
If Foden ups his game,
Going by results year in year out that we've seen the past 2-3 seasons, performance. You understand?
Saka or Lamine Yamal?
I feel like you have insulted Lamine. We should write a letter from our studio to Lamine for bringing him up in this.
That is sacrilege. You just committed sacrilege.
That's an abomination.
But Arsenal fan said Saka is better than
On what ground?
On what ground? Is it
On what
It
ground?
was on social media.
On what ground?
Even in fashion, Lamine is still better.
Even in fashion.
That's the truth. The way he put up in dance step, he's better.
Yeah, of course.
Talk more of the game itself.
Not about the game itself.
Talk more of the game. That's not much of a comparison.
Well, it's still Temple G's brought to you by Azar Studios. We're talking, of course, of Thierry Henry's comment on Mikel Arteta, where he said that the Gunners' boss needs to win something. It's not enough to continue to play good football and finish second consecutively. It is time for Arsenal to win a trophy. For Nkani Sam, he says Arsenal lack ambition, and that's why a coach like Mikel Arteta is still in charge of Arsenal after going into next season. For Nonso, win the Premier League, not win a trophy, win the Premier League or the Champions League, or leave my club.
Or get thrown out, not leave. Get thrown out. Yeah.
Of the club. What do you think of this stance of Thierry Henry? If Mikel Arteta should be given more chance to continue, because of course, trust the process. You never can tell. Maybe if Arsenal give him a 10-year contract, he may be relaxed enough and not have anything to worry about, because it's one thing for a man to be thinking of his future, and then when a man is relaxed, but when a man is given a 10-year contract, he has nothing to think of. It's just like a government worker. You don't say, don't be Saka.
Don't even go too far. We saw an ambitious Haaland.
Yes.
As soon as they give him a 9-year contract,
He does
He just relax.
His future is secured.
Money-wise, he don't bag up.
you don't need to do much
Just
again.
score 20 goals, which is easy for him.
Which is okay.
Which is easy for him to
That's
score.
it.
You know, consider. That's why they have penalty every cup final. He carry and give.
Imagine
Mamouche.
Nothing.
carry
Why?
and
What
give.
am I struggling for?
Anderson.
So it's what it is. For Arsenal fans, of course, it's not easy to continue to go next season, every season, and you could feel the passion in Nonso's words. You could feel the pain, you know, of seeing Chelsea. He's wearing blue today. He couldn't stand to wear red because pain there in body, you know, of Chelsea lifting something every season, getting to the final. This season alone, there have been 3 trophy parades in London. 3,
and
none is Arsenal.
This is horrendous.
Not London.
That's how we the neutral.
South London. West London.
That's how we the
Is it
neutral.
that Arsenal also have a boss? Open a roof boss? And that's my case.
Well, Football Temple. Temple G is brought to you by Azar Studio. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having us.
We hope to do this some other time.